How are we going, everybody? We have a brilliant game right now between Malevolent Star playing as Huns and Pos Essen playing as the Celts playing as blue. The only problem is, on the minimap right now, they both appear to be blue to me, so I might be going to a few different places. Hopefully that will come out in editing though, it might just be a mistake in this mod. If you can't tell already, we are in widescreen right now, which means we are going to be up for a hell of games from now. Hopefully all my games will be in widescreen from now on. I do know they do take up a lot of space, but that's why I have a big hard drive, so shouldn't be too bad unless I do a ridiculously long game that takes more than, I don't know, like 1 terabyte of space. Hopefully that won't happen though, because that means I'd probably have to go for about 50 minutes, I would say. Because how big are these? Yeah, that sounds about right. That's a big game, so hopefully I'll stick to probably 20-30 minute games maximum though. So not saying every game will be 20-30 minutes, but just that'll be the maximum. So with that comes all of this room here, which you can see, which I will use for pretty much everything I can think of. Going to have instant replays, most likely going to have the commentators box there as well. So we should be up for a lot of fun when it comes down to it. I'm going to try, and like I said, I'm going to try and make them as interesting as possible. Just as much as I can in them. Like, if you don't like something about it, definitely let me know and I can definitely change it. But lots of people seem to want the commentators box back. I've got lots of messages about it, so I'm going to put it back up. And just, I wouldn't do it, like in all the videos you've seen, I haven't done it so far, just because of the fact that I didn't have enough room to do it without really getting over stuff like this area here. So, we're going to have it, and it should be good. It should be very good indeed. We do have a little problem here, though, with this. It is glitched a little bit. Pos Essen and Malevolent Star going to be a little bit annoying there when it comes down to it, but shouldn't be too bad, and I believe we do have a little colour glitch there. Or is that just the way the Celts are? I think that's just the way the Celts are. I might stay away from that. That doesn't look too nice, in my opinion. So we do have a barracks coming up for the Celt player, and it's already got units inside it. So that means Malevolent Star could be in trouble here if he's not anticipating this trush. But I do believe he has seen the barracks, and he does know that it still has units in it, so should be pretty good in my opinion. Should know it's coming. Is he going to put a barracks up to defend it though? No, he's just done a small wall off here. Most likely we're going to see a wall off across here as well. If that does happen, so he has seen his opponent, he knows where he is, he knows he's got this barracks up, so he knows he's going to be late going into Feudal Age. So Malevolent has decided, yep, I'm going to go up to Feudal Age now, going to get that small advantage while I can. But we can see, what have we got there? 3 militia coming across the map for Pos right now. Going to be able to do some damage if he stays away from this town center, of course. Going a bit closer there for my taste, but naturally he knows what he's doing, he hasn't lost any, he should be alright. Coming around here, looks like he is going to be alright, though he has walled off most of his base. So he shouldn't be in too much trouble unless a bit of this wall comes down. Finished rebuilding that there, that is going to hurt right now. And putting those flames out there with that hammer, brilliant job. However, he is keeping himself in Feudal Age there now, so he's going to be able to get out archery range now. There we go, he's at an archery range. We are going for a stable here. And I don't think his opponent has noticed he's going for a stable yet, actually. So once this stable comes up, he's going to be able to get out some scouts. There we go. And he's going to be able to get down there and harass a lot. Pos Essen are currently on 1,126 and Malevolent on 1,100. So it is a very close game at this stage. And here we go. Bringing in these militias versus these scouts. Is he going to micro these? Is microing that brilliant there. Noticing which one these militia are going for and pulling them away. That will definitely be a replay there just to show how well he did that. And on this scout here, might lose it the way it's going. We haven't got any upgrades for either player yet though, and we've only got ASM going into Feudal Age now. That is very, very close to being behind at this point actually, but he did create these 3 militia. You've got to remember that. These scouts, of course, proving to be extremely valuable at this point, being able to outrun those militia. More scouts being created though, and do we see, there we go, we are seeing spearmen now for Essen. These spearmen are going to be able to help out quite a bit when it comes down to it. Going to be able to station them near his gold or near his lumber camp, and that's going to stop these scouts coming anywhere near them, because as we do know, the main thing scouts have going for them is that they are faster than the spearmen. And of course that means they can get in and harass, but when the spearmen already there, that's when they're in trouble. But it looks like he's going to get away with this. He might even kill off some villagers here. Are we going to lose any villagers? Losing 1 there, getting caught on that villager. And these ones here are all pretty injured by the looks of it. These scouts are actually on a mega low health at this point. And surprised that spearman didn't manage to get 1 there. That's too bad. But we do have Essen up by 100 points at this point. Looks like it could be 60 actually. I was going to say 60, but it just changed. Could be back to 60 now. Very, very close. More scouts being created. We do have bloodlines being done though actually, so that's interesting there. So up to 65 hit points and a few more scouts being created there. Does it look like we are going for skirmishes as well? Skirmish is going to be able to provide what he needs to get rid of those spearmen. If you haven't noticed as well, it is a bit slower than usual with the map. I know it's still not super slow. My computer is pretty decent. Actually, it's pretty amazing. But I am running a lot of things at the same time here to capture all the footage we need. And the widescreen seems to take a lot of, well, just to record it, it seems to take quite a bit. We do have a wall off here from Malevolent Star, though, going to be able to pretty much force his opponent into going where he wants. And it looks like with all these out of his base, he's going to be in trouble down here. All these archers are absolutely falling victim to these scouts, forcing to use those villagers there to try and kill off those scouts before they do too much damage. And he's taken that village there and doing the smart thing, running there, that scout on 3 HP. Brilliant job there, bringing these wolves in as well. So we do have a great game coming from Malevolent right now. Forcing his opponent to put up a watchtower, that is definitely going to hurt. And is he going to lose? He's going to lose a fair few villagers here if these, nope, not focusing these skirmishes fast enough. If he decided to focus fire these, he probably could have killed off quite a few of those villagers. And we have a really forward base coming up here right now. Going to be able to push out here and hopefully be able to use this in part of his wall off. Forward here because it's not in his base, it's going to be harassable, which is what I wanted to say. I guess it's not that forward as I was thinking, and I used forward base in probably a term that wasn't really used. But that coming out there, that's going to be very easily harassable considering it's not inside his main line here. He's going to actually have to come out of his base to defend it. That's what I meant to be saying there. Whether or not you interpreted that right or not is completely different. Castle Age being done there, and Castle Age being done for our Celt player too, and I'm actually hating that purple right now. That's going to look not very nice in the recording, so I'm going to try and keep it off. Continuing to fight this area here and pushing out here, so it looks like he's going to push out his entire base. This might not have been a bad decision as I thought it might have been. So he's pushing out through this entire area here. And what is this villager doing? This villager is slowly pushing up this side here, going to be able to do a good job. And both players at this point just waiting for the Castle Age research to be done so they can get their elite skirmishers, they can get their bodkin arrow, and they can get their crossbow research done. Elite skirmisher. What are we getting? Are we getting crossbow somewhere? No crossbow upgraded yet. Heavy cavalry archers are being created there. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage. We do have crossbows first, though, for Essen. Essen going to be able to use those crossbows to do a lot of damage until, however, these elite skirmishers are done. Skirmishers probably could have been the better choice there, I believe. He did have a lot more skirmishers than archers, but we do know crossbows are a lot more powerful against a vast array of units. Going to be able to bring out these cavalry archers, though, especially as Huns, we can expect cavalry archers. And as the Celts stand here, we can be expecting to see a castle up quite soon, I believe. And a lot of siege is going to be created as well, because we do know that Celts do have an amazing siege workshop that they can work from and do a lot of damage. These villages here do look like they're going to go down. That mangonel going to be able to do a lot of damage and splitting down there. That was great micro there, instant replay material. Continuing to lose villages here, multiple villages being lost here. That's really going to hurt. Even though Essen is still on top by 100 points, he is getting hurt right now. And that micro there was brilliant until that hit came down there. That was good until then. So that is just bad luck right there. Which we have down here. We have a mangonel down here as well defending off. Mangonel looks like it's getting off quite a few decent hits actually. Killing off quite a few of those units, as we can see by that pile of bodies there. And elite skirmishers still getting hurt here. These villagers looks like they were getting hurt by that as well. So if he could come down here, he might force his opponent to kill off a few of those villagers himself. And skirmishers taking a little bit of damage there, not really that much. And of course, siege weapons are very effective versus archers for those who can't tell already. And at this point, it is looking to be like still a very even game. There's only, what, 10 points between the players. I know I say 10, but it keeps changing, so whether or not what I say is actually accurate at the time, it'll be fairly accurate, unless something like Imperial Age research is done or something. Second town center, I believe, coming up there, or are we seeing a third? We're seeing a second town center there now for Essen. And Malevolent taking the lead now. It's the first time he has since the beginning of the game, I believe. He is on 3 town centers, so he is going to be able to outboom his opponent at this point, up by 200 points. And that's really going to start to kick in as soon as he starts spamming out these cavalry archers. We've got stables coming up though, so stables, that could mean knights, especially for Huns. Huns get great knights, they get paladins with most of the upgrades. I believe all of the upgrades, actually. They get the bloodlines, they get the 2 forging upgrades, and they do get the 2 armor upgrades, I believe. So he's going to be able to do a lot of damage with them, and they go all the way up to paladin. So if it comes down to late game, they can do a great job as well. And there we go, so he is mixing knights into his army there. And it is kind of hard with the minimap to see where all the action is going down, but it looks like he is gathering his forces up here. Those knights going to be able to absolutely rip these skirmishes apart. Those crossbows though are going to be a bit of a problem. Running up through there and dodging most of that off, managing to take the high ground there. These mangonels here are going to prove themselves invaluable when it comes down to... Oh my god, that was a big hit there. That was a very big hit. Very well played there from Malevolent, taking his opponent very well. However, losing both of his Onega's mangonels at this point each. And I believe he is going to lose both of these 2-3 there. So that was a pretty even trade, honestly. I would have preferred to be Malevolent at that point. Malevolent is up by over 1,000 points right now. His boom is paying off. His damage ratio is paying off. He's doing quite a good job. We've got a Forward Siege Workshop coming up for Malevolent right now. So if that comes up, it means he's going to most likely be getting out rams. He's going to want to try and take out these 2 town centers. If he manages to take them out, we are going to see Essen in a lot of trouble, especially considering he's down now by 1,200 points. That is quite a lot to be down by, and I don't know how he's going to really come back from this. We do have knights continually raiding his base. We have a siege workshop up right in front of him. Nothing coming out of it yet. There we go, battering rams, just like I predicted, coming out there. Going to be able to do a hell of a lot of damage. I am sorry about the minimap, by the way, if it doesn't come through, but there's nothing we can do about it. If you want videos in widescreen, we are going to see a dodgy minimap, unless we see less purple versus blue. So villagers being forced here to try and take out this ram. Going to lose those villages there to those knights unless he can garrison quick enough. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. We have another battering ram there, 2 battering rams, another one being produced over here. Going to lose this town center here, and I would say it's just about good game for Pos. He is down by 1,700 now. Losing this town center is going to put him down by even more. Losing all these villages to knights. These rams going to be able to push their way in. Light cavalry coming in now, so going to be able to get even more harassment done at this point. Keeping his resources low, doing good on 150 population compared over to 77. So nearly, in fact, doubling his opponent's population at this point. So going to be able to take out a lot of these units. His economy is pretty much wrecked. And then we have game there from Pos Essen, and good game there from Malevolent Star. Brilliant game there, played by both players. Hope you enjoyed having the widescreen. Shouldn't be too ridiculous. And thanks for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe.